Either you love yourself enough or you don't. I had a conversation in my DMs with a girl the other day, and she was basically saying that she can see the value and the worth in other people all the time in every conversation. She can recognize it and acknowledge it and love it in them. She can never see it in herself. And I was like, well, that's not crazy. Like, that's a pretty normal thing. It's standard. Why? It's not because it doesn't exist within you. It's because you live with your greatness, your personality, your wit, your intellect, whatever it is. None of that stuff is new to you. It's surprising to you. It's just very like, yeah, that's just me, like, no big deal, I'm average. And that's where a lot of people sell themselves short. You have to understand that you can never truly perceive yourself, okay? So like, you have an understanding of yourself, true. You have no clue how other people are perceiving you. You have no clue, what background they're coming from, what lens that they're looking at you with. So when someone is like, hey, I think you're extremely intelligent and all your thoughts are so insightful, and you're immediately quick to be like, no, I'm not, stop. Immediately stop. That's true. That's how they perceive you. Stop downplaying yourself. Like, it makes no sense. And also, when it comes to confidence, it's a choice. Like everything else in life, it's a choice, okay? So not to be hard on you, but simply choose to be confident. And no one knows if you're pretending or not. So I don't care if you have to pretend. I don't care if you have to convince yourself. I don't care if you have to tell yourself a lie every single day when you wake up. And eventually you start to believe it. However you go about it, it's a choice. So you need to choose to show up that way. Now, another piece of advice I'm gonna give you, and this is gonna be controversial, but I really don't care, is be conceited. Like, I get called conceited all the time, and it's so funny to me because it is not an insult, babes. I would much rather be conceited than insecure. I'll take it. But not conceited in the way that you think. There is never a comparison being drawn. Like, ever. I have never sat down and put me and a girl and been like, let's go head to head. I'm better than you in this category. You have this on. Like, ever in my life, that is the honest to God truth. And so it blows my mind when people mistake like my loud self-confidence for like me thinking I'm better than them. It has nothing to do with you, actually. Like, actually, I am so conceited that it's like a one-track mind and it's just me in my lane, nobody else. When you love yourself in a really loud way, you're gonna trigger people around you. And I see this happen in my life and my friends' lives. We trigger a lot of people. The good thing about that is it helps you root out who you need to keep around you and who you don't. And that's not to say they're good people, bad people. It's not that simple. It's more like they're not on your level energetically. Like, they don't see self-love and confidence the way you do, and so they're going to be triggered by it, and in turn that might stir up some feelings inside of them, resentment, whatever it may be, and that can lead to evil actions along the line. So it's better to just avoid it altogether. Other people who are energetically aligned with you will understand it. Like, my friends are all conceited as hell. They think they're the baddest in the room, the smartest in the room. They think they're the most capable, like one of one. And I'm like, yeah, period, you should. I do too. My mother did too. Like, it's your life. You have to understand that, like, we are all coexisting on this planet together, but at the end of the day, you're living inside your mind and your mind only. So of course, in my mind, I am the queen. Of course, in my mind, I'm one of one. I'm the prettiest, I'm the smartest, I'm the most capable. Duh, who else would be in my mind? So you guys have to, you really got to get your mental straight. It has nothing to do with anybody else. And if someone is threatened by your confidence or has an issue with it, they don't like you. And more than that, they don't like themselves. And so you don't align, just distance, just separate, okay? It's not that hard. When you're around people who align with you in this specific way, when it comes to, loving yourself out loud and self-confidence and self-esteem, it's easy. Like, I've never had to explain this concept to anybody. All my friends are extremely confident. All my friends are conceited, as we like to say. All my friends are super sure of themselves. Like, no one's threatened by each other because we're not looking to the left or to the right. There's no comparison being drawn. Because when you live inside your own mind, you understand that it's just you. Just you. I think the only comparisons I've ever drawn is like past me. That's it. And like a future me I want to be like. And that's what I'm striving towards. It's never another human being. You don't live in my head. You are not the star of my world. Another thing is you need to start asking yourself whose opinion you're caring about so much. Like, when I get into disagreements, even here, Peace Corps, there's a lot of people, new people, we're all super close together all the time. So conflicts arise, right? And you can't really get a reaction out of me because I have to ask myself, who are these people to me? Like, what place do they hold in my life? Is it significant? Are they my mother, my father, my sibling, my best friend, the person I'm gonna marry? Are they, my in-laws? Like, you have to ask yourself these questions, like, what position do they hold in your life for you to care this much? Because if you care this much about every passing person's opinion, you're going downhill. That tells me that you're not grounded in any way, shape, or form, and you need to find something to ground you, and quickly. It's a sign of weak character. It's a sign of low self-esteem. When I say that most people can't offend me, I don't say that to be mean. You don't have a place in my life, so why would your opinion carry any kind of weight? I'm not gonna go home and think about it, and I'm not gonna have my feelings hurt. And so I think you need to start being able to distinguish between what comments matter to you and what comments don't. I think another trick is also trying not to take anything personally, because I am so in my lane and focused on my life. I kind of assume everybody else is that way too. So when someone does something or says something, directly, indirectly, it really doesn't matter, to offend me, to piss me off, nah, like they didn't mean to do it, you know? Like something else must have led to this. Like I don't take it personally. I don't take it as like a specific insult targeted at Ruth House Lassie. Like in my head, I'm like, you don't care that much, like, or at least you shouldn't. I say that often to people. I was in Zimbabwe and we were at this hostel, and there was this guy, I don't know if it was his way of flirting or whatever, but he came up to me and my friends, and he's just like talking about me nonstop. I'm standing right there with them. He tried to hit on me earlier in the night, and I was like, listen, I'm tired. Literally, I was exhausted. It was midnight. And this is like 1 a.m. at this point. He's like, this girl, she doesn't know how to have fun. This girl, yada, yada. And he's just jibber jabbering. And I'm sitting there like, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to a stranger. Like, and then he continues on. He's like, she's flipping her braids. She was doing this. And I just turned around and I'm like, you spend way too much watching me, because if I was asked to pick you out of a lineup, I wouldn't know who you were. And you paid this much attention to me that you can say exactly what I was doing and when I was doing it. That's concerning. You need to go find something else to do. And he left me alone the rest of that weekend. And it's not to be offensive or to be harsh, but it's legitimately what I believe. Like, you're paying way too much attention to me. If I'm pissing you off by living my life, if whatever I'm doing is triggering you, you're not paying enough attention to yourself. That's what it is. And to me, again, it's like a sign of low self-esteem, because as somebody with high self-esteem, I'm focused on my lane. Nothing anyone is doing out there triggers me. Nothing bothers me. Nothing is like keeping me up at night and making me angry, and I'm going to my friends and making comments about it. No, babes. When me and my friends talk, we talk about ourselves and ourselves only, because we're just so zeroed in, focused, conceited. And I know something that a lot of people struggle with is that they are confident and they are sure of themselves, but they're not perceived that way. I've had a couple friends come to me and be like, people's perception of me is like weak, like they can violate my boundaries, like I won't say anything, like I'm too nice, whatever the case may be. And they've asked me, how do you get people to respect you? And you just have to have absolutely no tolerance for it. And I don't know why that's like such a hard thing for people to do. I think it's a sign of like some deep rooted issues. If you are being disrespected and you have a hard time, a difficult time addressing disrespect to you, that tells everybody everything they need to know about you. From now on, I need you to like legitimately view disrespect as the most insane thing in the world. Like that's exactly how I view it. When someone disrespects me or says something slick or whatever, I'm like, my mind is blown. Because I don't walk around disrespecting people. Like, that's just not something I do, ever. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a child. It doesn't matter if you're an elder. It doesn't matter if you have a position of authority. I just don't disrespect people in general. So when someone does it to me, in my head, I'm like, oh, what did you think this was? Because sometimes I'm like, what vibe did I give you that made you think that you could say that? Act this way, behave this way in front of me. Because I thought I was giving a vibe that this was like absolutely unacceptable. Clearly I'm giving a very receptive vibe that you thought this was okay. Because you have to remember, people change their behavior and tweak it depending on who they're around. So if they feel comfortable being rude and disrespectful and condescending and undermining to you, it's because you accept it. They don't do that to everybody. I promise you. And that's where sometimes I become a little sensitive, because I'm like, what about me welcome this behavior? Where, you know, it's not always our fault, but it's like, I wonder, what about me welcome this behavior? You wouldn't pull this on somebody else. But that's when you have to get stern, and it's just a one and done. I don't even explain to people why or how they've disrespected me or offended me. I've never done that in my life. And it's not because I'm not a confrontational person or it makes me uncomfortable or I'm scared. That is not the case at all. I think there's no need. Once somebody has disrespected me once, there's literally no reason to ever interact with you again. There's no reason for a discussion. Because again, I'm only holding you to the standard that I live by. I've never disrespected you. I wouldn't even dream of it. And you just did that to me. And you think I'm going to sit you down and be like, let me hold your hand. Please never do that to me again. And I really want to be friends and I need you to act this way. And da-da-da-da. I don't do that. I'm so sorry. There is billions of people in this world. There's no shortage of love or friendships. I really do not need to coach someone on how to treat me. Like friendships, relationships, that goes for it all. So you need to be very cutthroat, and it's not that hard. If it is hard, you need to look back at yourself and be like, why is it so hard for me to have people treat me with dignity and respect? Why does that not trigger me? Why does that not upset me to my core and make me want to get up and leave and run as far away as possible from them? That's an issue. It's an issue within. We also need to hold each other accountable. Like, one thing I like about having my girlfriends is that I obviously would not let any bullshit slide, but like, there's the occasional when you get swept up in it, especially when it comes to like romantic relationships, whatever. My friends won't let it slide. They will not let me live. They will let me know right away, this is not a safe space. You cannot confide in us about this. Like, we will bully you out of this relationship. And same goes for them, where I do not give anybody any breaks. Once you've told me, or I've even witnessed your man do some weird shit one time, that's it. That's it. You've lost me. Every time you bring him up, I'm gonna be like, that loser, you're still with him again? You still hate yourself like that? Damn. Like, you know, I'm just gonna bully you out of it, because we hold each other to a certain regard, right? And it's because I love myself so much. I love you even more. I refuse to let us drop. I refuse. And this is where I'm not soft. I'm not gonna meet you with empathy and compassion. Unfortunately, it's way too dangerous. Like, I can't let you slip into that. My friends and I have legitimately had fights because I'm not stopping. Like, none of us are. We've all fought when it comes to like one of us being with a man that we shouldn't be with. And we are like, no, absolutely not. We can't accept him. There is no way we will ever support this. No, oh, just be a good friend and support me and just smile and give me a hug, because that's what I need right now. I don't care what you need right now. It is way too dangerous to allow a woman to be in a situation where she's being disrespected or undermined. Slippery slope to abuse, babes. It's not happening, not on my watch. So hold yourself to that standard, hold your friends to that standard. It makes life so much easier. I would also say, please learn how to recognize the small signs. As soon as you see your friend draw a comparison between you guys or get upset or whatever, like, I've had friends that I've just simply stopped talking to. It's really no beef, but they've made comments or done things where I'm like, no. This, again, slippery slope. Like, I'm not gonna wait until catastrophe hits, until you've done something irreversible that I can't forgive you for. I'm just gonna start now and leave, because you'll make a comment where you're comparing us, or where you are like, you get everything you want, or you have this and I'm jealous, or da-da-da. You guys take that kind of stuff way too lightly. I do not. One strike, you're out. I'm not risking it. Why? Because I have friends who don't do that. And that's another thing I think with female friendships. Everyone thinks that like it's just hell and horror, and that's only because you haven't experienced good ones. There's billions of people in this world. Go find some. Because it is insane to me, the stuff that people tolerate. I've never in my life even witnessed what you are tolerating. That's how wild it is, you know? It's not the norm. The things that you guys make to be the norm is just simply not the norm. And me and my friends, we can't relate. We don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why it is that people think that it's just toxic romantic relationships that can ruin your life and kill your self-esteem and just, you know, take you to the pits of hell. I think that a friendship can do that more than a romantic relationship can. I think that friends are positioned in your life in a way where they can truly take a jackhammer to your life. You know, they know your family, they know all of your other friends, they know your private information. You know, that you go to school with them, you go to work with them, they know everything about you, and they are so seamlessly ingrained into your life. And it's like, when it's smooth. But if it's rocky, like, you need to run. It's gonna get really bad. I mean, they can like shred every area of your life. It's not okay. And so I feel like we put up a lot of guards when it comes to romantic relationships and introducing a new man into our life, or a woman, whatever you're into. Setting boundaries and being like, I have this standard and you have to pass this test. Why do you guys not have that same standard for your friendships? It scares me more. Like, I have that kind of standard for my friendships. In fact, I know I come across as like a super friendly person, which I think I am, but my motto is no new friends. No new friends, because I don't have lukewarm friends. I literally have like family and then acquaintances I see out and about. That is it. Anybody who's in my life is so deeply ingrained into my life. They like go and hang out with my mom when I'm not there. They hang out with my cousins. Like, you are so into my life once you're in my life that I can't risk having someone that I haven't vetted properly there. It's just not gonna happen. I hold it to an extremely, almost unattainable high standard. But that's because I'm paranoid. And I think you should be too, if I'm being honest. When I was in college is when I really got a master class in how evil women can be. Like, I had never seen that in high school. Like, me and my Habesha girlfriends, me and all my girlfriends who are immigrants from all over the world, never witnessed an evil like that. And then I got to college and I'm seeing just how absolutely horrific women can be to each other, and it scared the shit out of me and my friends to the point that we like didn't make any new friends. It was just us six like bottled up in the house. We didn't want to see anybody. We didn't want to invite anybody over because we're like, you guys are treacherous. This is treacherous behavior. We want no parts of it. But yeah, so that being said, I feel like I heard like little comments that women would make around their best friend. And I'm like, you are slowly tearing her down. You're bringing her self-confidence to zero. You're making her question things she's never questioned before. You're making her feel insecure. Like, why are y'all around each other? You hate her. You hate her in the loudest of ways. This is insane. And so it would concern me because I'm like, 2 years from now, like, this girl's gonna be a shell of a human being because of her friend. And whoever, like, her friend is only acting this way because somebody must have done it to her. You're not just evil by default, babes. You're only doing, like, you must be hurt deeply inside. And so the cycle continues. The quiet competitiveness, the snarky little comments, you know. For one thing I saw a lot of that was really bizarre to me is 2 women sharing a man. It was so jarring because me and my friends, we always say, like, if I think someone's attractive and then he thinks my friend is attractive, I will never view him as attractive again, unfortunately. That's just the way my brain is wired. I just can't. And so it is crazy to me when I was witnessing, you know, a girl, you know, date a guy, whatever, and then her friend, like, literally pass it to my homie, whatever, and then it would start an issue. And I'm like, there are billions of people in this world, and you're competing over some random man from this random city. Are you insane? And I said this when we were in college. I was like, you know what? I'm not tripping while we're here because it's not a big deal. We're young, we're in school, and this is what my mom used to always tell me. And she'd be like, it's not a big deal now because you guys are young, whatever, you don't have much to lose. But in a couple of years, when you do have things that you really, really care deeply about and that you can't risk to lose, these are not people that can be around you. And I literally was like, yep, absolutely. And so now, post-grad, I started moving a lot differently because now I'm like, I don't play. You have to be so cutthroat. You have to be so cutthroat. I, like, blatantly cut off somebody I loved very much, a friend of mine, with no warning, simply because I told her about a date that I had went on with a guy, ended up dating him for almost 2 years. And I was really excited about the date, whatever. This is after our very first date. She doesn't know him. They have no mutuals. The only reason she knows that he is alive on this planet is because I mentioned him in that conversation. And next thing I know, like a couple weeks later, she's following him on Instagram and they're mutuals. And I was like, and you might think, oh my God, that's so petty. Why would you? No. This is what I mean. This is what I mean, where you guys, this is why your life is not full of peace. This is where you mess up. You need to nip it in the bud. Mind you, there were other instances where I was like clocking, like, something's not right here. But I kept showing grace because of our history. But as soon as she took that action, inexcusable action, I was like, yeah, no. I do not need some treacherous thing to occur for me to know that it's time to walk away from this. It's just time to walk away. It's that simple. And I've seen this story so many times. It's just weird behavior. And this is the kind of weird behavior that you need to clock. I'm talking day one. As soon as it happens, you nip it in the bud. And now there's no drama, there's no fuss, there's no beef. We just went our separate ways. That's also how you make sure nobody ever crosses your boundary. People don't need to know that, like, you're untouchable and your boundaries are not able to be crossed. You need to know that. I don't go around announcing like, oh, I'm cutting you off because you did X, Y, Z. You'll probably never know why I cut you off. That's fine. But I know, to me, that I set clear boundaries and you crossed it, and that's it. Snip, you're done. It's no ifs, ands, or buts, and there's no excuses being made. And I think that has saved me an enormous amount of heartache. And I think that is why my life is not filled with drama and jibber jabber and all this stuff that's going on. Like, when I hear girls going through it, I'm like, why? Because there had to have been signs in the beginning. Like, treachery and betrayal don't just pop up. So why? I'm one to give the benefit of the doubt all the time because, again, because I move with pure intentions. I will always assume, especially if it's a friend, that no matter the fallout, that your intentions were pure, and so I will forgive you. But when you do something like that, when you take actions that clearly show me that we are no longer aligned, I have no choice but to walk away. And I don't know why so many girls have such a hard time with this. I have friends who come up to me and they're like, Ruth, I want to do that, but how do I do that? What do you mean how? You get up and you walk away. Either you love yourself or you don't, babes. No one could teach you that. Watching this video is going to do nothing for you. Either you love yourself enough or you don't. A or B, and like I said, like everything in this world, it's a choice. Make a choice. And if you don't choose, it's an automatic no. You don't love yourself enough. And believe me, everybody will be able to tell. Your aura will radiate that you don't love yourself. And that's the kind of situations you will keep attracting. So when people find themselves in this constant loop of drama, in this constant loop of just uncertainty, and there's no peace in their life, and it's always something going on, you are attracting that with your energy. Why? Because you allow it. Everything in your life you allow. It's a choice. Nothing happens to you. You are allowing it to happen, right? So if you just nipped it in the bud, that's it. It's done. That situation is never going to repeat again. You've set your boundary. There's no talking you really have to do. There's no explaining. It's all through action. You do. So set the boundary. You don't let anybody ever cross it. No ifs, ands, or buts. I promise you, you're not going to have those kinds of situations be reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring. It just won't happen. And I'm living proof. I'm gonna end this by saying, please spend time with yourself. Like, know yourself through and through. Know yourself so that no one else can ever tell you who you are. So people stop defining you. So you stop feeling misunderstood and unseen. Know yourself. There's some things that I will never say aloud, but I have absolutely no problem writing down. Write, journal, video journal, talk to your camera, talk to yourself in the house. Nothing, no recording, no documentation. Just talk to yourself. I don't know why people act like that's crazy. It's not. I do it all the time. Those little habits are what truly build confidence. It's not you telling yourself every day, like, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm smart. Although yes, those rewire your brain. It's different. If you want to build real sustainable confidence, you have to start with knowing yourself. You need to know who you are, what you stand on, what your boundaries are, what you are willing and not willing to accept or allow into your life. Those need to be very, very set and clear in your head. Then no one's ever gonna be able to tell you anything. You're gonna be able to move, with a certain je ne sais quoi. No one is born insecure. No one is born questioning their worth. No one is born feeling less than or ashamed of the life they live or who they are, what they believe and who they love. No one. That is something that you adopt. And so just like you adopted that, you can adopt this new mindset to love yourself, to be yourself, to know yourself. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for now.